guys and gals, Bane here. Oh no, I'm not Bane. Not Bane. I'm Von Baden. But you already knew that. I don't know what I'm doing. But anyways, I have finished this Menpo mask, except for I am going to add a mesh in here, but I wanted to kind of show you where we're at, and I won't be doing, I just got some, it was a grate that was meant to keep my moose of a dog from running through the sliding screen door and us having to replace the screen on a bi-monthly basis. But we ended up getting a different type of screen that apparently he can see, so he doesn't think the screen door is open and run through it anymore. So, we didn't need the grate, and I had it and never took it back, so now I can use it for this kind of stuff. So, and what I'll do is I will cut the basic shape of that out of the grate, some hot glue in some of the areas and around the edges, put it in there and glue it, and I'll probably leave it, it's a metallic silver, so I'll probably leave it that way. Well, what I wanted to do was kind of go over this real quick and what I did and what I tried to kind of give you guys some ideas, because I wanted something that was battle damaged, which this definitely was battle damaged, and I had seen several people talk about different methods they did to paint, do battle damage, and be able to airbrush more paint on, and the different things that I discovered that maybe be helpful for you. So, nonetheless, excuse me there, this is my Menpo mask, and to kind of give you guys an idea of what I tried, the first thing I did was I did the battle damage on it, plasti dipped it, did my logo, which is kind of cool, the O and the B, kind of like on my business cards, I have an O around my B, so I wanted something cool there, which that I did. And this is all EVA foam, except for, of course, the elastic band there. But anyways, I went through, did the battle damage on it after I assembled it, and the original template that I used to make this, the base form of it, which consisted of the bridge around the nose and the cheeks, this panel here, and the front is all the base stuff. So there is 2 layers of panels here that was my own thing. This stripping, I'm trying to get it to where you can see it, but there's a stripping here, and it's pretty much duplicated on this side, and of course the V and the O were not a part of the original template. Those were my run in the left field. But I wanted to do some battle damage, and I had seen several people say that, you know, when they do the base coat, whatever coat of paint that they're wanting to bleed through, I heard toothpaste, I heard Vaseline, and my run with it, neither one was, I mean, they both worked, that's very true, they both worked, but this is more or less to kind of give you what I experienced, and you can make your own mind if you decide to do something like this. But this side, I used Vaseline. Now, I'll try to give you a good close-up. The battle damage is supposed to be a bit gnarly looking, you know, a little bit jagged and whatnot, which I got. No doubt about it, that is jagged in there, and I didn't want it to be crisp clean because, seriously, who's going to have crisp clean cuts? Not Ginsu knives that we're working with here, folks. So, I used Vaseline on this side alone, and then I used toothpaste here, and we'll get into that in a minute. Problem with the Vaseline was, you put the Vaseline in the parts of the paint that you do not want to lose their color, which I got. Problem with it was getting the Vaseline back out after I was done was next to nearly impossible. I spent a lot of Q-tips and a lot of paper towels rubbing in there trying to get it all out, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I got it all out of there. But nonetheless, whatever was there is now sealed in there, and I ain't dealing with it anymore. But it did do what I was hoping it would do, which was leaving that silver metallic paint and then letting me airbrush the other color right up on it. And we'll get to the dingying out in a minute, but that was what I wanted there. Toothpaste. Now, toothpaste was another pain in the butt. Now granted, these ones, there's not as many gnarly scratches and gouges and all that stuff, but there still is gouges and scratches in there. I use toothpaste in these. The problem with toothpaste is the first time I went around and I was just trying to, because you have to do this in layers, I had this painted, the red stuff here, and then I taped off around the red, and then I did the black over all of this, and then I came back and did the light brown on top of that. But I used painter's tape to tape this off to do that so it didn't overspray onto that, which when you're trying to keep metallic in there can be a bit of an issue when you're taping things off. But the first time I just went in with toothpaste and put a real thick layer on there, which worked. Don't get me wrong. Both methods worked. It was the cleanup afterwards that was a pain in the butt. So once it dried, I went back, cleaned the toothpaste out, so I pulled the tape up and see how well it worked. And then the plan was to tape this off and then paint this with the black all taped off. Problem was, the original way I went with the toothpaste ended up, because I don't know if I let it sit too long during the drying process or if it just wasn't done right. I don't know how I want to word that, but the end effect was that yes, it did cover it, but it pulled more of the black paint off than I wanted. So then I thought maybe the toothpaste was too thick. I'll water it down a bit, which I tried again on the brown, and we still ran into some issues, not as much, so maybe it was too thick, too sticky, because it pulled the paint with it when I was trying to wipe it out, which, but the second way was a little bit better, but not perfect either. So nonetheless, after doing all the painting, went back through, took some black, watered it down to where it was the consistency of like running milk, really watered down running milk. And the way you do that is you dip your paintbrush in the bowl or whatever you're using, put it up against the side of it, and if it runs down like water and it's very transparent, you got your grunge. But if it's still real goopy and thick, you might want to lighten it up, or maybe that's the way you want to go. I like mine a little bit watered down to get that just dirty, grungy look, which this definitely has. So then I put it on there. I let it not completely dry, pretty close to where there was some spots that were still really wet looking, but some of the spots were drying up. And very important when you're wanting to get that grunge look that you don't wipe. You don't want to ever wipe because you're just going to smear it. But if you take and you kind of pat it, dab it, it'll pull some of it off, some of it will stay, which gives you this really cool grungy look. And gives you an awesome looking Menpo. Now, this video is finished, so finish him! Work. I don't know. I'm sorry, I was dropped on my head. Dropped on my head, folks. Anyways, rambled on long enough. If this is your first time in my channel, hit that subscribe button. Stick around, I get crazier. I'm off my meds. If you enjoyed this video, you know what? There's a little thumbs up down below. Leave a comment. Any questions? Any thoughts? Leave them down below. Alright? And I will see you all on the next video. Thanks. Bye. I don't know. Had too much sugar.